Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of General Yohana. And what we do is we teach the blacks, Hispanics, Native that they are God's true and only chosen people. And with that comes a set of responsibilities. Those responsibilities is to follow the law as Christ has shown us and as the Most High commands us to do. You know what I'm saying? Those set of laws helps us, you know what I'm saying, take care of each other. Those set of laws help us, you know what I'm saying, look out for one another. Those set of laws show us how to love each other. And that's something that we are missing desperately in the black community. We don't know how to love each other. We don't know how to take care of each other. That's why we are out here depending on our enemy for reparations, begging them for reparations. And let me tell you something. They deserve to pay us reparations. Reparations is something that should be needed, but reparations is not what you're going to think it is. Reparations is going to be something forced upon them. Reparations is going to be forced upon them, and it's going to be glorious. It's going to be glorious, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all have any questions, type them on in. I'm about to give y'all a minute while I share this class. But if you got any questions, type them on in. I'm about to get my share on. You should get your share on also. You know what I'm saying? Share this class. If you got a question, think about your question, formulate it, and type it on in. You know what I'm saying? If I know the answer, if I do, I will gladly give it to you. But if I don't, I will find somebody that knows. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know everything. But that's what makes this brotherhood in the Bible so beautiful, because we work with each other. If I don't know something, if I'm slacking in some area, there's a brother who could pick up that slack. But if you can, get your share on. All right, so we're going to get it in about this reparation, what reparation really is. Should we be getting, you know what I'm saying, our methods of getting it? Is it working? You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of issues going on. This reparations is a hot topic amongst black people. Because let's be honest, these white politicians don't give a damn about it. They don't give a damn about it, but y'all are out here marching and begging and parading for reparations. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to start off in the Apocrypha. We're going to start off in the Apocrypha real quick. Let me get there. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes 40 and 28. I mean, Ecclesiasticus. And 28. And pop that on the screen for all to see. That's where we're going. I'm going to give y'all a minute to get there. If you don't got no questions, you know what I'm saying, that's perfectly okay. You know what I'm saying? That means you know everything in the Bible. That means you're a Bible scholar. So maybe you should be teaching the class. You know what I'm saying? But as of right now, just take notes. Take notes. Maybe you'll form a question as I teach. And if you do, don't be nervous or scared to type in your question thinking that you're interrupting the class. You're not. Our whole purpose here is to teach you. That's our whole purpose. You know what I'm saying? So let's get with it. Ecclesiasticus chapter 40, verse 28. My son. Now, this is what you need to understand about this. This is Ecclesiasticus is a group of books of a mother teaching her son. This is a mother schooling her son. So it says, my son, This is what a mother's telling her. Lead not a beggar's life, for better it is to die than to beg. See, these type of lessons ain't being taught anymore. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, you got to protect your life at any means, but it's telling you right here, don't live a beggar's life, for it is better to die than to beg. Why is it better to die than to beg? Because you are eating at another man's table. It is not good to eat at another man's table. It's not respectable. It's not commendable. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we are doing every time we are out there marching, protesting, rallying, whatever you want to call it. We are out there begging for reparations. But let me tell you something. If it was truly in their heart to give reparations, you think we have to beg for it? Do you think we have to be out there marching? If the reparation was to be real, whatever you think the reparations is to be, if it was real, if it was sincere, would we have to beg for it? Will we be out there trying to rally politicians to see our side? No. Because you know why? We're going to get into it for a sec, but hold on. We're going to get back into that verse, but let's read the definition of reparations real quick so you get a full understanding. All right, reparations, a noun. Reparation in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. First definition, 1A, a repairing or keeping in repair. B, reparation, plural, repairs. So that means fixing something, fixing a car, you know what I'm saying? Reparations is fixing a car, reparations is fixing your TV. Reparations could be just fixing things, repairing and keeping it in repair, keeping it in good condition. What's two? Second definition, 2A, the act of making amends, offering expiation, and giving satisfaction for the wrong or injury. That's talking about making amends. That's something that they're supposed to be doing. That's the whole point of reparations, to make amends. How do you make amends for such a wrong, for 400 plus years of slavery and oppression? How do you make amends for that? How do you make amends for stripping a nation of people from their culture, from their language, from their names? How do you make amends for that? How do you? For all the blood that was lost, all the hanging, the lynching, the drawn quartering, the tar and feathering. How do you make amends for that? How? You can't make amends for that. You can't make amends for that. It's impossible. Well, you think a check is going to solve that? Think a check is going to repair the relationship between our oppressor and us? Let me tell you something. They're going to give us, let's say, this is imaginary because I don't believe they're going to give it to us. But let's imagine if they did. And that was supposed to be the amending of the wrong that they done. They fixed the wrong that they have done. They repaired the wrong that they have done. That check that they gave us solved everything. Solved everything from the redlining all the way down to the slave ship and throwing us off of it, to the rape and pillaging that they have done unto us. That solved it. Those few bucks solved it. So you know what's going to happen? Two things. The first thing is you have no right to complain at all. So when that money's all dried up and gone, guess what? You got your reparations. They are no longer the bad guy. You got what you asked for. You know what I'm saying? Or two, it's going to make the poor whites are going to get more active. They're going to start displaying their hate, and they're going to start murdering us, robbing us. And it's just going to just show that it's not solving anything. It's just going to make it clear that the reparations don't work. You know what I'm saying? So what are we begging for? What are we begging for them to do? What is a true amendment for such a crime? Is it money? Let me tell you something. Look what happened to us. A lot of blood was spilled. A lot of sweat was given to build this country. A lot of tears were shed for the ones we lost. You know what I'm saying? We lost our language. We can't even speak our language. We're speaking our enemy's language. We carry our enemy's last names, showing that we are still his property. Remember, the names were given to us to show that we belong to that family. How do you amend for that? Well, you're going to give us back our language? You want to give us back our names? What about our cultures? What holidays did we celebrate? What holidays did we celebrate before we went through this hell of slavery? How do you amend for that? What was our cultural practices? What was our what they call it? Um our like when a boy becomes a man, and when a girl becomes a woman. What was our practices of that? We know nothing about us or our history. And I know a lot of y'all like to say, let's get over it. We're free now. No, we're not free. We're not free because we don't have nothing of our own. And reparations in a cash form will not solve it. It will not amend the wrong that was done unto us. Will we have our own land? No. Will we have our own financial structure? No. Because the money that they're giving us is their money. We're in their land, spending their money with their last names on us. So no, cash reparations is not it. But let's read that from the top again. Let's read Ecclesiasticus 40 and 28 from the top. My son, lead not a beggar's life. Lead not a beggar's life. Stop begging. Stop begging. That's all we've been doing since the 60s. No, let's bring it back to the 50s. That's all we've been doing was begging our enemy for reparation, begging them to recognize us and acknowledge us, begging him to love us and respect us. But let me tell you something. An enemy will never respect a beggar. The enemy will never respect a slave. The enemy respects an enemy. He respects those that fight, stand up to him. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. For it is better to die than to beg. While y'all out there screaming out Black Lives Matter, it is better to die than to beg them for their recognition of our lives. It's better for us to die than to beg them for some pocket change for reparations. It is better for us to die than to be marching and doing all this. Recognize that your enemy is your enemy. Our oppressor is our enemy. Recognize that. Once you recognize that, then guess what? You see him for who he truly is. You see him for who he truly is, and you expect certain behaviors from him. If you've seen our enemy as our enemy instead of as a God, like a lot of us see him as, when that brother that got choked to death on that New York train, somebody would have stepped in and interrupted that. That brother would still be alive today if we didn't see him as a God. If we seen him as an enemy, we would be expecting for him to try to take a man's life, try to take one of our people's lives. We would be expecting it. Profile every single last one of them. And when you see them, expect them to try to kill you because they are your enemy. And that's what you should expect the enemy to do. You should not expect the enemy to love you, to respect you, to acknowledge you. You should not expect the enemy to do that. You should not expect the enemy to amend the relationship you have with him. Don't expect that. But let's continue. The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for a life. Look, that's what we're doing. We're dependent on another man's table. We are straight up and down dependent on that man's table when we are begging him for him to amend us with some cash. We are straight up and down dependent on his table. We are out there begging for money. And I understand, we sure do deserve it. We built this country from the bottom up, yes. But he is our enemy. What sense does it make to beg your enemy? What sense does it make to beg your op to fix the wrong that he has done? What, you want to be friends with him? He will not be your friend. He will absolutely not. But let's read that from the top again. The life of him that dependeth on another man's table is not to be counted for life. Look, they don't even see us as humans. That's why they always look, when they take our lives, that's why they're always looking for an excuse to demean and lower the value of our lives. Like that brother that got choked out on the train, what were they doing? They're trying to say he was being aggressive. He was, you know what I'm saying? He got a history of drug abuse. You know what I'm saying? They drag our names through the dirt when they take one of our lives. Remember Sandra Bland, she was a nut. She was a nut in their eyes. She was a hostile, typical angry black woman in their eyes. And they painted her as such. Because we are not counted as lives. And you begging this man to count your life as a life, you know, Black Lives Matter. You begging for him to count your life as a life. And he will never see it as such. Because he is our enemy. And the quicker you recognize that, the safer you will be. The better off you will be. The more protected your family will be. Because you will see him. And you will cross the other side of the street because you can't trust them. Sisters, when you see them, clutch your purses. They might rob you. The things they do to us, we should be doing to them. Because they have a history. They have like 1,000-year history of doing such things. Of being rapists, murderers, robbers. That's their history. That's their culture. And they stripped us of ours. So guess what culture we're picking up? We're picking up their culture. That's why we have their last names. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. For he polluteth himself with another man's meat. Look, we are polluting ourselves. We get that, we get that reparations, right? They give us that cash, big cash settlement. Every black man on this planet gets, I don't know, what do you think they'll give us? $1 million? Well, let's say 1 million. What do you think that million is going to do to our people? What do you think we're going to do with it? We for sure going to pollute ourselves. Look, no other nation on this planet will respect us. No other nation will respect us, period. Know why they won't respect us? Because we're beggars. And we're eating at another man's table, polluting ourselves with his meat. How does that look on a national wide scale? That means that we are still slaves. We are dependent on our enemy still. We are dependent on massa still. You know what I'm saying? Let's just shout out. You know, I don't shout out this man much because I really don't even like him. But he made a point. Tyler Perry made a point because our enemy runs Hollywood and he runs all the studios in Hollywood. So what did Tyler Perry do? He didn't want to eat at their table no more. So he built his own table in Atlanta, made his own studio. Now all these B-ranked movies that we see on Tubi, it's coming out of that studio. You know what I'm saying? I'm joking, but you know what I'm saying? We are, he wants us to be more dependent on each other in that Hollywood form. Believe me, there's nothing righteous about Tyler Perry. But on that note, he was absolutely right to build his own studio and have his own people. Look, even Oprah didn't do that. Oprah is filming out of his studio. And that's just called being wise. He did not want to beg for studios to support his projects. So he decided to make his own studio and do his own projects. And that's something that we should do as a nation. Stop begging for reparations. Start depending on each other, looking out for each other. Because us depending on him to do it, we're going to die. We're going to die. We're going to still be viewed as weak because we are dependent on our enemy to love us. We are eating his meat. You know what I'm saying? Salakia. Let's continue. But a wise man, well nurtured, will beware thereof. A wise man, if you wise, if you have any source of wisdom in you, guess what you're going to do? You ain't going to want to eat at that man's table. You ain't going to be begging him for his crumbs. Because that's all reparation will be at the end of the day. Please don't think America's too poor to pay reparations. You've seen what they did to the Ukraine. I think that, yeah, the Ukraine. You see all the money they gave to Ukraine. You think they couldn't transfer that over? Think they couldn't transfer that over to us? But no, they're not going to. Because our enemy is our enemy, and they see us as enemies. So why would they help us and not help their own brothers, the Ukrainians? Why would they help us over them? That wouldn't even be wise on their part, and I will admit that. Those Ukrainians need their money. They need their equipment. They need their backing. You know what I'm saying, and all that. And it's all in the American interest. But guess what? Guess what? Them giving that money to Ukraine shows you one thing, that amending the relationships between blacks and whites in America is not an interest of America. Amending that relationship is not a national interest. No. It doesn't benefit America. America needs its slaves. It needs it. You know what I'm saying? I think there's one more. Hold on. Verse 30. Begging is sweet in the mouth of the shameless. Like, begging is only sweet in the mouth of the shameless. You got to have no shame to be begging for their little crumbs, begging for their love, begging for their admiration, begging for their acknowledgement, begging, just begging them. You gotta that just feels sweet to you. This it just feels right. You feel like you're doing something. You feel like you are making a difference in the world. It's sweet to you. It is sweet to you. But let's continue. But in his belly there shall burn a fire. You know what that means? You're a shameless man and you're out there, you think that you're getting the job done. But guess what? You're not. You're not. Your fire's going to forever have that burning feeling. You know what that burning feeling? Have you ever been hungry and your stomach starts burning? Think of it like that. You're going to have a burning feeling in your stomach because you will never get filled off of eating at that other man's table. You will never get filled. It tastes sweet to you, but guess what? All that sweet taste will never fill you. It will never get the job done. It will never do what it's supposed to do. It won't amend this relationship. All it will do is make us look weaker and bigger targets to our enemies. Make us bigger targets to them. The respect that you begging them to have for you so much, you think that money's going to get it? Or our enemy will know. It's not about race. They respect money. No. Our enemy fully understands that it's about race. That's why they put their race above everybody else's. And it's only right and it's only natural. It only makes sense. That's what he should do. We're the only people on this planet that don't do that. Us black, Hispanic, and natives always putting other people above our own. You know what I'm saying? Asians don't do that. Arabs don't do that. East Indians don't do that. Only we do that. You know what I'm saying? So let's drop that. Let's drop that. Let's get Job 29:5. Oops, my bad. Hot key, hot key. All right, let me plug it up in there. Let you catch up with it. Give y'all a second to get there. Hold on, my fault. Not 29, 27. Hold on, my fault. Job 27. I might start up a little high. I might start off at one so you get the full context of what's going on here. All right. This is Job. I don't know if you know who Job is, but Job is a man that went through hell. Went through hell as an individual. We're going through hell as a nation. You know what I'm saying? Job went through hell as an individual. Satan tested him to the highest extent. He went through that fire. He came out as gold. Us as a people, we are going through a fire. How you gonna come out though? How you gonna come out? You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna start on where should I start? Let's start off with verse 2. You know what I'm saying? Let's start off with verse 2. Job chapter 27, verse 2. As God liveth, who have taken away my judgment, and the Almighty who hath vexed my soul. Like the Most High, he recognized that the Most High is putting him through something. He recognized the Most High is testing his spirit. You know what I'm saying? He's recognizing that he's going through things. You know what I'm saying? All the while my breath is in me. He like, I'm still alive. And the spirit of God is in my nostrils, and he's still following the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. He ain't bitching out. Remember, Job's rib wanted him to curse God. Job's rib wanted him to curse God. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. My lips shall not speak wickedness, nor my tongue utter deceit. You know what I'm saying? Job, he's going to keep his integrity. His tongue is not going to speak wickedness. And he's not going to utter deceit. He's going to stand his ground on these law, statutes, commandments like a righteous man should. Like all us Black, Hispanics, and Native men should. You know what I'm saying? God forbid that I should justify you. Till I die, I will not remove my integrity from me. He's straight up telling them, no matter what the Most High put him through, he is not going to remove his integrity. And that's something that we all should be doing. We should all be standing on our integrity, which is these law, statutes, and commandments. We should all be standing on our square. You know what I'm saying? We should not be begging our enemy. We're losing our integrity at like doing that. All this begging we're doing throughout history, all we've been doing was begging since the 60s, begging. And nothing changed. Nothing was solved. And we're still begging. We are borderline insane because we keep on doing the same thing, expecting a different result, and we're still begging. That doesn't sound like integrity to me. Eating at another man's table does not sound like integrity to me. But let me tell you something. Job, he had integrity. And we should be modeling ourselves after such a righteous man. We should be following his steps as a nation and not bend our knee to our enemy. His wife wanted him to curse God, and he said, nah, he ain't going to lose it. There's nothing that's going to make him lose his integrity. And when we're begging our enemy instead of depending on the Most High by following his law, statutes, and commandments, guess what? We're cursing God. We're telling the Most High we don't need him. We need our enemy. Our enemy can solve our problems before he can. And that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? But let's drop that. Let's get Jeremiah 2:33. And let me tell you something. I know y'all seen that video of that. I believe he's a politician, a Black politician from like South Carolina or North Carolina. He's from the Carolinas. Might be Tennessee or something too. I don't know. He's definitely a Southern state candidate for the government. And this fool, look, I'm not for us begging for reparations. I'm not against reparations. I'm not for us begging for it. But this fool says, no, we should be paying reparations. We should be paying reparations to our ancestors for what our enemy did to them. We should be paying our ancestors reparations for our enemies sending our ancestors to war. We should be paying our ancestors reparations because of what our ancestors did to them with the lynching, drawing, quartering, tarring, feathering, you know what I'm saying, hanging Black women and cutting out their babies and barbecuing them and all the other atrocities that they have done. They are such a savage people. so uncouth, so, you know what I'm saying, uncivilized. And these are the things that we gotta be equal to. These are the things that we gotta beg for. No, 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 no. Oh, it's my fault. I never even punched it in. Let me pop it up there. Give y'all a second to get there. Jeremiah 2:33. As we're gonna start up a verse above it. We're gonna start a verse above it that hits on the point that I was going. So we're gonna start off at Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 32. Can a maid forget her ornaments, or a bride her attire? Can a maid forget her ornaments? Can a bride forget her attire? No, because that's like her uniform. That's like her those are the things that make her recognizable as who she is. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. Yet my people have forgotten me, days without number. See, we have forgotten the Most High. That's why we are begging our enemy. We have forgotten the Most High. That's why we don't follow his law, statutes, and commandments. We have forgotten the Most High. That's why we eat crab, pork, shrimp, and lobsters, do all types of drugs, commit all types of murder and robbery on our own people. Know why? Because we have forgotten the Most High. And we are forgetting the Most High. We are dependent on our enemy. But let's continue. Why trimmest thou thy ways to seek love? Why are we trimming our ways to seek love? Why are we begging them to love us? Shouldn't they be begging us? They wronged us. Shouldn't they be begging us to love them? They wronged us. Why are we trimming our ways? Why are we changing the way that we're supposed to be for their acceptance? Why are we getting rich and then start dating them? Why are we doing that? You know why we doing that? Because we are trimming our ways to seek their love. We get a little money, we get a little rich, you know what I'm saying? Then we start dating them because we are trimming our ways. We know that our mama told us a long time ago, don't bring no white woman in this house. But we are trimming our ways to seek their love. And that's absolutely shameful. We shouldn't be trimming our ways. We should be sticking together and loving each other because those are our ways. Those are our ways. We shouldn't be lowering our standards and our morale just to seek their love. That's what we're doing. You think they love us enough to amend the relationship between us? No, they do not. They will not amend no relationship between us. They will not repair all the hell they put our ancestors through. And not just that, all the hell they are putting us through today. Why you think cops are getting off for killing us? Oh, you think that one cop, because he went to jail, that's some type of justice? That's no justice. That's nothing. That's literally nothing. That's not a sign of change. That's not no justice. That's not nothing. It's nothing. it might be is our enemies seeing the weakness in themselves, and all they're going to do is do better next time. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Why are you doing that? What is the purpose of us begging them for reparations? What is the purpose of us begging them to recognize that our lives matter? What's the purpose of us begging for all the things we begged for in the past and don't benefit from? We beg for housing, and we don't benefit from that. Everybody else do. I mean, golly, East Indians are taking over all the projects in Quincy. Asians did it while we're struggling out in Boston, wondering how we're going to pay this 2,500 rent for a 2-bedroom. Don't know what we're going to do. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways, like us begging them. We are teaching them something. We are teaching them our ways, man. We are teaching them, put like this, it's bad enough they want to be us. But to make them think that, how can I put it? To make them think that they could, put like this, if they amended the relationship, right? What would that do? If they amended the relationship between blacks and Caucasians, they would actually think that they are on our level. They would think that there's no wrong. We're all equal. Believe me, and there's no such thing as equality. Equality is a figment of the imagination of a child. It's not real. No two things on this planet is equal. Twins ain't even equal. No two things on this planet is equal. You know what I'm saying? But we are showing them our ways. We are showing them our hand. And we should never do that because all they're going to do is use and abuse us. You know what I'm saying? But let's drop that. Let's get on. Let's go back to the Apocrypha and get a letter to Jeremiah 1 and 34. I know I got to rewrite that. Hold on. Some of y'all might have it in a different, listed under a different name, but it's right after Baruch. Right after Baruch, right before the prayer of Azariah. Yeah, it's called the Song of the Three Holy Children. That's another way that it's titled in the book. You know what I'm saying? But let's get with it. Letter of Jeremiah. And there's another trick to this, if I remember correctly. Letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 34. And it's definitely going to look different in the physical copy. If y'all not able to find it, it's all right. Just read along with me. Letter of Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 34. Whether it be evil that one doeth unto them, or good. They are not able to recompense it. So look, no matter what you think they're going to do, they won't be able to fix this. They won't be able to amend this. No, because what they did, well, yeah, they did it to us. But more importantly, they did it to the Most High. And the Most High's anger is kindled. God's anger is kindled. There's no way they can get around this one. You know what I'm saying? God's anger is kindled. So they got a debt to pay. That's why in the book of Obadiah, that genocide will actually take place in the future. There will be a race of people that will no longer exist. And it won't be from the hands of our hands. No, it'll be straight up from the Most High. We won't even have to lift a finger. You know what I'm saying? But let's read that again. Whether it be evil that one doeth unto them, or good, they are not able to recompense it. They can neither set up a king nor put him down. Look, they can't do. Look, we belong to the Most High, plain and simple. And they ain't able to build us up or take us down. They've been trying to take us down forever. They've been trying to destroy us for over 400 years, and they've been failing at every turn. There's nothing that these reparations could do. It ain't going to build us up. It ain't going to destroy us. You know why? Because their reparations ain't supposed to be coming to us. No. They owe a debt to the Most High for touching his children. For touching his children. They owe a debt to him. Period. You know what I'm saying? So shall I continue? Nah, that's good enough. That's good enough. Read further on that. You know what I'm saying? That's a good book right there. But let's get First Maccabees 16 and 17. We're gonna stay in the Apocrypha for a bit. The Apocrypha teaches a lot on integrity, having some standards. You know what I'm saying? Something that we have lost as a people due to the oppression that we have served. You know what I'm saying? And they cannot get that back. How are they going to fix that? How is reparation going to give us integrity, morals? How is reparation going to solve the situation of all those lost abortions? You know what I'm saying? The women that go through all types of mental issues due to those abortions. How's it going to solve that? How is reparation going to fix that? It's not. How's it going to solve the issue of the molestations in the Black community, the rapes, the gang violence? Now you're just going to have gangs with bigger and more guns. That's not going to solve the issue. Nothing they can do is going to solve the issue. But my bad, I'm dragging. Let's go to First Maccabees. Look, I know you might think that the idea of reparations is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? But some things cannot be fixed. And we have served them for a very long time. We have praised them and followed them and modeled ourselves after them for over 400 years. We are the most American of the Americans. We are the most patriotic. We are giving our lives knowing that there will be nothing in return. That's what we have done. And you know what they have given us? Nothing. They have given us nothing but pain, nothing but sorrow for all the good that we have done for this country. we have gotten nothing but evil in return. And let's read it. In which doing he committed a great treachery. This country is very treacherous, and they are doing a great treachery because it is treacherous. That brother that was on that train, man, he entertained people by pretending to be Michael Jackson. That's not a bad thing. He was doing good. He was entertaining the people on the train. He just having a bad day that day. And what did he get? He got choked out for it. He got choked out for it. He got choked out by entertaining them. Who do you think he's entertaining on that train? You think he's entertaining his own people? No. We are quite familiar on how to sing and dance. That's all we've been doing for our enemy. So he is entertaining our enemy. And he got choked out on a train by some bloodthirsty Marine. All he wanted was a few dollars or a little something to eat. Because it's hard out there, especially in New York. But let's read it. In which doing he committed a great treachery and recompensed evil for good. Recompense means to repay. Something like repair. Giving back what was broken or tooken. So they repaid evil. They gave evil for the good that that brother has given them. They repay evil for the good that our people has done for this country. They would not have even made it to space if it wasn't for some black women. They would not have made it to space at all. Cell phone. That invention that y'all like to say is the white invention. That we should not be speaking against our enemy on his devices. Let me tell you something. They're not his devices. There's black women and black men who are pivotal in the creation of the cell phone. You know what I'm saying? And pivotal in the creation of the computers and laptops. We are pivotal in every shape, form, and facet of every modern view of this country, but not just the modern view. I mean, come on, Benjamin Banner could freaking design DC and built the White House. And he never stepped foot inside. Never stepped foot inside of something he built for his enemy, his oppressor. You know what I'm saying? We go to their wars. We fight in their wars. It's their wars. It's their problem. It's their beef. We help them win those wars. I wouldn't even say help them. We won those wars for them. And our brothers come back to nothing. No type of honor. They get a little purple heart or something. Woohoo. It's painful, man. It's painful. They recompense evil for good. So believe me, whatever money they plan on giving for reparation, that's going to be evil. And the good that we giving them for not wilding out for the history that was done to us, not just the history, but for what's going on to us in current events. You know what I'm saying? If we decided to wild out, we wouldn't be giving good anymore. But for the good that we have given them by not wilding out, they did not. They gave us nothing. Absolutely nothing in return but heartache and pain. Every election year, they spotlight the murders of Black people by our oppressors. You know why they spotlight them during the election years? So they could draw out some emotion out of us, so we could rally each other to vote. So we could rally up the numbers to vote. That's evil, man. Playing on our emotional strings. That's evil. Absolute evil. But let's drop that. Let's get Ecclesiastes, I believe. All that time I did all that writing and literally did not write nothing. Bear with me 1 second as I make sure it is Ecclesiastes 4. No, it is Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha. Hold on, it ain't Ecclesiasticus 4. Hold on. Bear with me. Yep, it's 31. Ecclesiasticus 4 and 31. All right. All right. Y'all ready? Ecclesiasticus 4 and 31. Let not thy hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when thou shouldest repay. Look, our enemy's hand was always stretched out to receive from us. They bled us dry. You know what I'm saying? They got all they could get out of us, and they're gonna get more. They're always ready to receive, but are they willing to repay? Are they willing to repay? What do you think repayment has been done? Like, a lot of Black people got different views and opinions on what reparation is. If you're in this class, please do me a favor, type in what you think reparations should be. If you're in class, type in what reparations should be. We got quite a few people in this class right now. Type in what you think reparations should be. Should it be money? Or should it be a section of America where we could just take over and they could just leave us alone? But you know they will never leave us alone, right? Because if they leave us alone, we're going to start thriving, we're going to start growing, we're going to start being dominant. Because that's what was happening in the early turn of the 19th century. I mean, the 20th century. That's what was happening. The turn of the 20th century, we were growing, we were outpacing them, we were going to outrun them, we were going to probably lap them. We would have lapped them by now. This country probably would have been ours. if it wasn't for suckers like MLK, who taught us to give our money to our enemies instead of looking out for each other. Start loving our enemies instead of looking out for each other. Going to our enemies' movie theaters instead of going to our black broken down movie theater. I'd rather go to a black broken down movie theater than a decked out one of our enemies. Because you know what's going to be on that movie screen? All types of disrespectful scenes that just makes the black men look bad and make the black woman look like all types of whores. No. See, if it was our movie, we'd be able to control the narrative and what's being played. You know what I'm saying? But MLK made us beg our enemy for love and acceptance, and it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But hold on, let's see where I'm at right now. Where I'm at. Let not thine hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when thou shouldest repay. Look, their hand is shut. They ain't gonna give us a thing. I hate to see y'all, hopes get rised up and let back down. Y'all for sure thought Obama was gonna bring some reparations. Y'all for sure thought that. But let me tell you something. They've been giving us a whole bunch of pain. They've been giving us a whole bunch of sorrow, whole bunch of scars. They've been giving us stuff too. Maybe we should actually be repaying them for the things they gave us. They gave us toxic food to eat. They gave gators to eat our babies. They gave us tar and they gave us feather and poured it all over us. They gave us a lot. Maybe we shouldn't keep our hands shut because repayment is in order. Maybe we should be repaying them. But no, we shouldn't because it's not, vengeance is not of ours. Vengeance is of the Lord. Vengeance is of the Lord. So it wouldn't make no sense for us to do that. But I think that's a better reparation than money. The blood, sweat, and tears is a whole lot better than money. You know what I'm saying? The reclaiming of our culture that they stripped from us, reclaiming of our language, our names, what type of food we ate. I don't even know what type of food we ate. I don't even know what name we had. You know what I'm saying? We know nothing. So maybe we should do some repaying ourselves. Maybe we should repay them the same heartache and pain they gave us. Maybe we should. But that would turn the Lord against us, and that's the last thing we want. So let us have the patience of the saints. Let us gain that patience, and may the Most High deal with them accordingly to His will, because you see it happening. I don't know if you noticed, but all types of craziness is going on in the news. You know what I'm saying? Like I was watching YouTube earlier, right? It wasn't TikTok, one of them, and they were watching some little league game and some one of our oppressors, little demons. He was a catcher for his little league team, and all of a sudden, it looked like a tornado just landed right on him. But they call it a little dust devil, which is still an issue, I guess. But it looked like a little tornado just landed dead on him. That was beautiful to me. That was great. That was lovely. I took joy in seeing it. I had to watch it at least about 20 times. That oppressor got a lot of views from me today. Every time I was agitated, aggravated, bang, put that on, I got a good chuckle. Because the next time you seen that kid, he was on the news with a cast on. So I don't know what that little dust devil did, but it did something. It put in some type of work. I don't even know what a dust devil is. That is definitely something southern in Texas. A dust devil just sounds like it's Texas. You know what I'm saying? But let's drop that. Let's get Ezekiel 7 and 9. I keep on doing that. Tap first, tap first. Ezekiel chapter 7. Give me a sec. Chapter 7, verse 9. And my eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity. I will recompense thee according to thy ways and thy abominations that are in the midst of thee. And ye shall know that I am the Lord that smiteth. See, vengeance is of the Lord. He's going to repay for us. Yes, maybe our oppressors should get reparation from us. Maybe he should. Straight from the Lord. Repay him for everything that he gave us, all the heartache and pain. The Lord said he's going to repay him. Let's read that from the top again. And my eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity. The Most High ain't even going to have pity on him. It won't even be pity. His eyes ain't going to spare nothing. See, he see one, man, that one getting done. Like you see one out the corner of his eye, that one might get struck by lightning. It's to be bang, done. Going to get done in. You know what I'm saying? So he will not spare and he will not pity. I will recompense. He will repay thee according to thy ways and thine abominations. He's going to repay them according to their ways and their abominations. What are their ways? What are their abominations? What are their ways? What are their abominations? What have they done to us? Let me tell you something. Buck breaking. That was a very egregious act that they have committed against the children of Israel. By taking the man in front of his wife and children, in front of all the people, the biggest, strongest man, the one that had a little attitude and wasn't quite, he was a little stronger than the rest mentally. And you're going to do that in front of everybody. That is horrible. He's going to, take the runaway black woman that's pregnant and hang her from a tree and slice out that unborn baby. That's a form of abortion. Yes, that's what they did. They sliced out the baby and let the baby just drop onto the floor while the mother's struggling for air and got her guts chopped out. These are the type of people that you are begging for acceptance with. These are the type of people that you are begging for equality with. These are the type of people that got your brothers being gangbangers because we want to be equal to them. So we're going to be just like them and start murdering our own because that's what they do. They murder ours. So when I join hands with them, these are the people that you're trying to be like. You know what I'm saying? Let's read that again. I will recompense thee according to thy ways and thine abomination that are in the midst of thee. And ye shall know that I am the Lord that smiteth. The Lord's going to kill them. And we're going to know. We're going to learn. We're going to know and grow. We're going to understand that the Most High is not the one to play with. He's not a joke. He gonna lay him down. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, and if you want to be a trooper in the school, man, don't type your name, get your attendance up in there, type your name in the city that you're from, and you know what I'm saying, get your attendance counted so you can get your Hebrew name, man. But make sure that you're in all black right now. If you're a trooper, you should be in all black, black shirt, black headband, so forth and so on, man, and get it in. But let's just continue. Let's go to Revelations 18 and 6. I do that. Where? All right, give y'all a second to get there. Revelations chapter 18, verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you. How did this country that you love and respect so much reward you? You did a lot for this country, black man. You did a lot for this country, black woman. How did this country reward you? You go to work 40 hours or more a week, suffering, struggling, scratching up a little bit of change just so you can pay that rent, pay their rent. And how do they reward you? They put crack, cocaine, heroin, marijuana all up in your neighborhoods. You know what I'm saying? Got Mass Ave just pumping. Places like Kensington and Philly pumping. All throughout New York, all throughout the whole ghetto of America. Every ghetto has a Mass Ave in it. Has a methadone mile in it in every ghetto. And guess who's there? It ain't even us really in those things. Mostly our enemy, our oppressor, enjoying the freedoms of his land. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Reward her as she rewarded you. So that means, man, what she have done to us, we should be doing to her. We should be prepared to do to her. They stripped us of our language, stripped us of our morality, stripped us of everything, man, and had us following them. Guess what? We gonna have to do the same. We're gonna have to strip them of their language. You know what I'm saying? Strip them of their names. We're gonna have to do the same. And double unto her, double according to her works. So we gotta do like what was done to us is gonna be done to them way worse. That 400 years of slavery we went through, they might go through 1,200. They might go through 1,200 years of slavery and oppression under our thumb. And that would be glorious. That would be glorious. That would be some real reparation right there. What they have done to us, we should be getting back. That's the only way to repair such pain that we're going through. It's for them to go through what we went through. And not just for a day, not for a week, no, not for a month. No. They should go through it for the same amount of years or more. Because we got to play catch up. We got to play catch up. So they should go through what we went through. You know what I'm saying? In the cup which she hath filled to her double. Like she have gave this to us. We got to give to her double. We got to give to her double. That's the only way justice could be served. That's the only way justice could be served. Just that simple. You know what I'm saying? I just thinking about it just makes me excited. Like, if you want to have some respect and dignity on a global scale as a nation of people, that will have to be done. Nobody respects the kid that got bullied. Nobody respects the kid that's always picked on. Even those bystanders that's just sitting back watching will not respect the kid that gets bullied. But once that kid punched that bully back in the face, he'll get his respect. He'll get his respect. But let's drop that. Let's go to Revelation 13 and 10. If y'all believe this reparations will be some form of justice, that the right will be wronged, you know what I'm saying? Hold on. Should we start at 10 now? Let's start at 9. Let's start at verse 9. Revelations chapter 13, verse 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear. It's just that simple. If any man has an ear, let him hear. What does that mean? Not everybody's going to understand this. Not everybody's going to be for it. Not everybody's going to get with it. But these are for those who are able to understand what's about to be said. If they got an ear, let them hear. Like, I think only Van Gogh's the only one I know that they have two set of ears. I mean, two ears. He chopped off one of his ears. I don't know of anybody that wasn't born with no ears. So I think it's safe to say that every man has an ear. So he should be able to hear. But it's telling you now. So if you have an ear, let him hear. You know what I'm saying? He that leadeth into captivity, he that led us into captivity. Who led us into captivity? Who's who led the charge on the transatlantic slave trade, the trans-Saharan, so forth and so on? Who led the charge on that? Let me tell you, our oppressor did, our enemy did. He led the charge on that. So if any man have an ear, hear this out. The man that leadeth into captivity, which is our oppressor, he led us into captivity. And yes, he did have help from other nations, and may they suffer the same fate. But we're focused on him right now. So if any man have an ear, let him hear. You know what I'm saying? He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So him that led us into captivity, guess what? He should go into captivity. Our enemy, our oppressor, he shall surely be put into captivity. He should. You know what I'm saying? And he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Like, this is not no ifs, ands, or buts. Man that killed with the sword must be killed with the sword. That's what our oppressor been killing us with a sword forever. Our oppressor been murdering us unjustly forever. You know what I'm saying? And he should suffer the same fate. He should suffer the same fate as George Floyd with a knee in the back of his neck. You know what I'm saying? He just suffered the same fate as as Slocky, for forgetting the brother's name, but it was a real French name. The brother that got shot in the car with his daughter and his woman in the driver's seat. You know what I'm saying? Philandro Castile. Yep, that's it. Philandro Castile. You know what I'm saying? This is the stuff that we got to deal with. This is the stuff that we got to tend with. You know what I'm saying? He killed us in numerous ways. Look at Trayvon Martin, minding his business, just going to the store. On his way back, he's murdered. You know what I'm saying? That's the life that we are living right now. That's the things that we gotta look up to. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. And I beheld, oh no, and he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience of the saints, patience and faith of the saints. What does that mean? Us knowing that this is going to happen, us knowing that slavery and the slaughtering that is going to happen. That is for sure is going to happen. You need much patience and faith. Because without that patience and faith, you're going to go out there trying to slaughter them yourself right now. But no, this is of the Lord's doing. This is of the Lord's work. So we can't be going out there slaughtering them. We can't be going out there, you know what I'm saying, trying to be them, trying to treat them like they treated us. No, let the Lord do his thing, because it's about to go down. It is for sure about to go down. You know what I'm saying? So let's drop that. And let's get Proverbs 11 and 31. All right, hopefully you're there with me. If you're there with me, read along. Proverbs 11, verse 31. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth, much more the wicked and the sinner. Like, if you want some true and real repayment, you want some real and true reparations, you got to get your life in order. That's what we've been saying in the HISPANICS. If you want some true recompense for what our enemy has done to us, best way to start getting that is to getting your life in order. Start following these law, statutes, and commandments. Start trying to live a righteous life. Because there's a good feeling when you can laugh in his face because you're not in jail. You know, every black man is expected to go to jail once in his life. It is expected. And it's a good feeling to walk in his face and just laugh and say, nope, not me. I don't fit that stereotype. So we got to get our lives in order. You know why getting our lives in order works out? Because getting our lives in order will show us that we're not out here killing each other. Because they like to bring that up every time they kill one of us. But if our lives are in order, if our lives are put together, then when we bring up them killing us, they will never bring up us killing each other. It won't come up. You know what I'm saying? So let's start that from the top again. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth, much more the wicked and the sinners. Like, if the righteous got their reward coming to them, guess what? So much more does the wicked and the sinners. They got what's coming to them too. So our enemy got what's coming to them. All those of our people that helped our enemies, like your Christian pastor, they got what's coming to them. All of them got what's coming to them. It's going to be marvelous. You know what I'm saying? But let's I got a couple more verses I can get to. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. Hold on, let me make sure. I go to Ecclesiasticus a lot, but this might be Ecclesiastes. So let me make sure. Yep, it's Ecclesiasticus. '20 and 10. 20 and 10. Okay. This is a good one too. All right, Ecclesiasticus 20, verse 10. There is a gift that shall not profit thee, and there's a gift whose recompense is double. So not everything that you're looking for, or this not every reparation that you think might be good is actually going to be good. It's not going to be beneficial. Reparations as a cash will not be beneficial, but there is some that is. There is some repayment that is good for you, that it doubles up. You know what I'm saying? And one of those reparations that doubles up is us getting back together as a people and as a nation and loving each other. It's starting to take care of each other. That works. That works. And in doing so, his nation will crumble. Once we stop depending on him and giving our money to him, you know what I'm saying? His nation will crumble. So support black businesses for sure. Support black businesses. You know what I'm saying? But let's drop that. Let's get on my last verse, Romans 12. Oh, something. Go to Romans chapter 12, verse 17. Oops. I wasn't clear. Nope. Right there. My fault, yo. Romans chapter 12, verse 17. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Look, yeah, he did us dirty. He did us foul. Should we go out there recompensing evil for evil? Should we pay him back what he has done to us? No. No, that's recompensing evil for evil. You know what I'm saying? Just because he buck broke us, should we be buck breaking him? No. That's recompensing evil for evil. Let the Most High deal with it. We're going to be living our lives according to his law, statutes, and commandments, which that alone will break them. A white man that's not allowed to eat pork will lose his fucking mind. Slocky for my language. He will lose his mind. He will lose his marbles. He can't do what he wants to. He will lose his marbles. He has to live by our culture and our way of living. He can't celebrate his St. Patrick's Day or his Cinco de Mayo's or his or any of his holidays. He will lose his mind. Guaranteed. But let's continue. Provide things honest in the sight of all men, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. So What it mean to live peaceably? That don't mean you gotta be all buddied up in their face, no. Well, for sure you don't gotta wild out on them. You don't gotta wild out on them. Know why you don't gotta wild out on them? Because it's not brotherly for you to do so. Because you go start shooting up a bunch of them, guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna come back with 20 more people and shoot up the whole block. We don't have more guns than them. You know why? Because they make guns. We buy guns. They make bullets. We buy bullets. We're consumers. We're not, you know what I'm saying, in it like that. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue. Dearly beloved, avenge not yourself. We can't be avenging ourselves out here. Like, remember that brother in Dallas? He was avenging himself. There's no righteousness in that. There's no benefit to that. You know what I'm saying? Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. All that anger that's in your heart, there's a place for that. There's a place for that. You know where that place is? In the Isupk, where we'll teach you how to redirect that anger to something beneficial for your people. That's what we'll do. That's our job. You know what I'm saying? Use that anger to build up a food drive to help poor people in your neighborhood. Use that anger to, you know what I'm saying, teach the kids a little something in your neighborhood. Use that anger to something beneficial. Well, let's continue. Where was I? Where was I? Oh, yes, Salakia. For it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord. That's what it is. Vengeance is of the Lord's. Vengeance is of the Lord's. It's his thing. Let him get his repayment. Let him get what belongs to him. You know what I'm saying? So what are we doing? Well, what are we doing in the meantime? Let me tell you something. We're going to continue. Let me show you what we're doing in the meantime. Therefore, if thy enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink. For in so doing, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head. So the nicer we are to them, the angrier the Lord's going to get. And we're going to be heaping coals upon his head. That means the nicer we are, the less that we are involved in his demise. That means the more glorious his demise will be. Because that's all of the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Let's continue. Be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil with good. Don't let your hate, I don't want to say hatred, don't let your wrath get the best of you. Sit back. Don't be like John Lee Malvo in a trunk somewhere trying to snipe him out. No. Just live your life in this hell. And start following these laws. Learn to follow these law, statutes, and commandments. Learn to grow in this truth. Learn to take care of each other. And that's how you heap coals upon their head. Well, I'm Preaching Officer Ricari, the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of General Yana. And with that, shalom.